honey, I think I'm going to start my own thing. She's like, okay, well, how do we get started? So, well, I already did. I quit my job. So any husbands, I recommend you to,
Guys.
especially at 7, 8 months pregnant,
Oh,
probably
heaven.
tough.
That's awesome. I
So,
love it. And then that's that leading into conversation of like, people talk about in order to be an entrepreneur, you have to be risk averse. Like there has to be some component inside of you that's like, yeah, sure, I'll jump out of the airplane. It'll be fine. Right. And so where in like the Pentecostal raising, I don't think it really matters the denomination. I think just being raised in the church as a pastor's kid, really. Where do you think that came from? Do you think it was innate? Do you think it was raised up?
the stick of preacher kids are always the worst, right?
Yeah, they do say
I
that.
always joke
I've
that
seen it.
I never wanted to disappoint anybody, so I was really good at being the worst. But I think, understanding that, joking, preacher kids are the worst, but knowing in my heart that that wasn't really the case, it that chemistry built a rebel side of me, right? I like to call it the righteous rebel, right?
It's good.
Where I'm going to do something that you say I can't do for the right reasons, and so it's become a laughing matter, especially in my household. You want dad to do something, just tell him he can't do it, and then I'll do it 10 times over, and that's uh, they've learned to play me that way. But I think that's really where that's come from is that I didn't. If God's going to make you limitless and God's power is limitless, why are we putting such a lid on what He can do in our lives? And it was a question I never could answer. Still haven't answered it because we inherently put lids on our lives. Even the life of an entrepreneur, God could never get me to be a public offering. We could never go public. Well, why not? Why's it got to be a filthy businessman who's hooked and crooked people? Why can't it be us? Why can't it be us doing things that are breaking records? Why not?
Yeah.
And the answer I came to is we're not taught that we can do that. We read, oh, we're more than a conqueror. We're not taught that we're more than a conqueror. So if you think you can't do something, you're not going to do something. But every time you think you can't do it, you're putting a lid on God because you can do anything you want. You just have to work like He's not there, and then when you've done all you can do to stand, and He'll make up the difference. It's a really
Good, Brandon.
we keep things so difficult. Well, what about taxes? Well, what about this? What about just go do, and God will make up the rest. And you'll sit back, much like I have in many of my successes, going, look, guys, it was a little of me and a lot of God. And I just did whatever I thought, adapted and overcame, and adapted and overcame, and pivoted and adapted and overcame.